close your eyes and go to your happy place. Do you go to the beach? Maybe your childhood treehouse? Or perhaps a fire escape that overlooks a city skyline? Wherever your happy place is, just know that everyone has one. It's the place you go to in times of stress, where you close your eyes, breathe deeply, and travel instantly to the place that makes all of your worries fade away. My place is none other than Narragansett, Rhode Island, a quaint little beach town that is approximately a 3-hour and 15-minute drive from my home in Latham, New York. Rhode Island is home to all kinds of beach life, great cuisine, beautiful views, etc. I started going to Rhode Island when I was a little girl of about 3 years old. Narragansett has always been a vacation spot for my family, originating almost a century ago. Narragansett got its name from an Algonquin American Indian tribe called the Narragansett. Europeans first came into contact with the Indians of Rhode Island in 1524. When the explorer Giovanni di Verrazzano visited Narragansett Bay, he described a large Indian population organized under powerful kings. Europeans didn't settle this area until 1635. The Narragansett tribe and Europeans maintained good relations until King Philip's War in 1675. More currently, Narragansett became a more prominent coastal resort due to a mid-19th century business relationship. Before this, Narragansett was used primarily for a small farming and fishing community for at least 2 centuries. In 2012, Narragansett was affected by one of the worst natural disasters in history, known as Hurricane Sandy. Many seaside restaurants, shops, hotels, and public beaches were demolished. An immense quantity of wildlife was suffering due to the fact that their habitats were destroyed. Among this wildlife, seabirds suffered most. This is one of the reasons that environmental sustainability is important, because if the ecosystem is sustained and protected against disaster, this in turn could save wildlife. Especially in ecosystems like a beach environment, steps have to be taken rapidly to not only protect communities that live there, but also preserve its wildlife population. In the article, Perceptions of Caucasian Users About Avian Resources and Beach Restoration Following Hurricane Sandy by Joanna Berger, Climate Change Affects Temperature, Precipitation Patterns, Oceanic and Atmospheric Circulation Patterns, Sea Level Rise, and the Frequency, Distribution, and Intensity of Storms and Hurricanes. With Sandy, coastal communities that were not intact ecologically suffered greater losses and damages than those communities that were. While reading Joanna Berger's article, I like her view on sustainability because in order to sustain an environment, you need help from the people who live there. Berger considers perceptions of people who live in coastal communities. Socially, this sustainability could change for the better based upon people who inhabit these areas. Beaches function in different ways. Some provide economic benefits, some provide natural habitats for birds and other wildlife, and some provide aesthetic benefits. And these need to be considered together when understanding public perceptions. In the aftermath of an event such as a superstorm Sandy, there are personal injuries and even deaths, property damages, and damages to local infrastructures as well as to the ecosystems. During and immediately following an event, people begin to clean up debris, repair property, and determine any long-term actions. Recovery actions can also lead to increased resiliency. For example, individuals that put their houses up on stilts above the new flood lines are more likely to avoid future flood damage than those that did not. This could sustain Narragansett in an economic way to prevent the demolition of places that generate revenue. Narragansett Beach in Rhode Island provides economic benefits from the cuisine they have and the revenue they make from people visiting their beach. It also has an aesthetic appeal because to many it's very beautiful and tranquil there, and this is why people decide to visit Narragansett. Above all, though, there are many seabird populations, for example, the piping plover species, that is endangered. Since Hurricane Sandy, on a social level, many members of the community were active participants in the restoration and sustainability of Narragansett. Overall, this social effort to maintain the environment will make Narragansett more resilient when facing another hurricane in the future.